Yeah, okay, so yeah, my hair's a little big and unkempt right now, all right? Don't say anything about it. I had my hair up in a bun a second ago, but so many people told me I look like Big Ed in the last video where I had a man bun that I had to take it out because honestly, I'm devastated by that. And I'm a fragile man, okay? I'm fragile. I'm a fragile guy, and you hurt my feelings. So don't do that anymore. The whole comment section of that video is like 5,000 comments making fun of me. I am a human being. I'm not Big Ed. I'm Big Cody. You know, every time I do a video about something, it always leads me on a little research rabbit hole, you know? An RHR is what they call those in the biz. And I learned a lot about something. And recently, after I did that video about doomsday bunkers, which was a banger, by the way, go watch that if you haven't watched it, it got me looking into other people prepping for the end of the world. Which I think is actually an important topic, you know, now that we know, for example, that aliens exist. Remember that? How crazy is that? The Pentagon came out and said, we've seen UFOs. So yeah, with the alien sightings and the doomsday bunker video, I was like, I'm starting to think, I'm like, maybe it isn't the worst idea to start prepping for old doomsday. Well, luckily, there's an old show that can help me do that. It's called Doomsday Preppers. It was on National Geographic from 2011 to 2014. And it focuses entirely on people trying to prepare for the end of the world. It's got some pretty absurd clips that I'm so excited to show you today, although maybe they're not so absurd. I mean, look at this clip from an episode from 2014. This might have seemed absurd back then, but now it's just kind of eerie.
I am preparing for a worldwide pandemic. Go, 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 go. Before I was prepared for pandemic, I was probably spending 20 hours a day worrying about it.
All right, Donna. Honestly, I gotta be honest, this is a little bit fishy. This is from 2012, and it's a little bit too on point with the hazmat suits and the N95 mask and, you know, her Febrezing her living room. Which, honestly, again, like, was an absurd shot in 2012. People probably watched that and like, what is she doing? How is that gonna stop anything? But that was all of us last year. Just Febrezing, I don't know if this helps or not, but someone online said it would kill the virus. I'm so scared, I don't wanna die.
When the pandemic comes, those who are prepared will survive. Those who do not prepare will die.
Wow, that hit a little bit too hard, honestly. A little bit too real there, Donna. If you only knew that burning gaze right into the camera, right into our souls. It's like she knows. Who do you work for, Donna?
A pandemic is a virus or disease that infects large numbers of people.
Yeah, I know what it is, dude. I know what it is, all right? We're all very well versed on what a pandemic means by this point.
So Donna has stockpiled thousands of protective masks and gloves in her garage.
I put together kits that have everything you would need to survive a pandemic. In my kit, I have isolation gowns, antiviral tissues, exam gloves, N95 mask, foot covers, heavy-duty sanitizer.
It's so funny. This is like hitting the lottery in Vegas, but the exact opposite of that. The polar opposite. It's like millions of people probably walk into casinos every day and they're like, I think I'm gonna hit the jackpot today, and they don't. She hit the jackpot. She thought something was gonna happen, and it happened, except instead of her winning money, 3.5 million people around the world died. Like, the odds of a pandemic actually happening are probably so low, yet she called it. Her and Bill Gates. And she must have been just laughing at the start of the pandemic, right? While all the rest of us were panicking, just disinfecting our groceries, smelling like shit because we got caked shit on our ass because we don't have toilet paper. And we're all like, I don't know, we can't use Postmates anymore. What am I gonna fucking do? And yet she's sitting there with a garage full of supplies, probably, you know, ass as clean as a whistle. So yeah, she's probably laughing right now. But the rest of the people on this show, they come off kind of aloof, I guess. For example, these people moved out to the country, to the woods. But this is one of their plans, is they decided to make homemade pepper spray for, I don't know, apocalypse bears or something.
And then mixing that with garlic to create a concentrate of this hot pepper. I can definitely tell these are the hottest chili peppers on the planet because I'm just dying here. We should have done this outside. This is just bad.
But my face is burning. I can't breathe. Can you breathe?
I'm sorry, what is this? This is the worst episode of Breaking Bad ever.
Yeah, the smoke is just getting to me. It's coming right through the mouth.
I mean, it choked me.
Like somebody had their hands around my throat.
Isn't the whole point of this to survive? It would be an awful shame if you moved out into the woods to avoid the apocalypse and then you ended up dying because you yourself were making homemade pepper spray in your own kitchen. That would be a damn shame. Dude, the footage of them coughing in the kitchen is so funny.
I can't breathe. Can you breathe?
Can you breathe? Maybe don't do this.
It is so powerful. Can you imagine your eyes burning out and you're breathing this in? It would just totally incapacitate somebody.
Like it just did us, for example. And like it probably will when we need to use it as well. Talk about a perimeter defense. How about those ducks? Those things are violent, dude. They'll fucking peck your dick off. The craziest part about these people, though, is that they grew a poisonous plant in order to dry it and make it into a spice so that if an unfriendly guest was ever at their place for dinner, they could poison them and kill them.
We've got a number of plants in my garden that are poisonous. Foxglove is a deadly poison. I'm picking foxglove leaves to save.
I thought it said dead man's balls. Sorry.
After the leaves are dry, we're going to put them in a little spice rack. In the event that we have some undesirable guests staying with us in the future, so that we can serve our guests.
Something tells me that is a horrible, horrible decision. Just putting it with your other spices. Like, all it takes is one, like, honey, can you pass the oregano, please? And she's like, sure, and just fucking doesn't look. And then you're dead! Boom, you've killed yourself, again. This is pepper spray all over again. Also, what situation are you prepping for here? What situation would you have an enemy over for dinner? I honestly, I'm not even trying to be too critical here. I honestly don't know what situation that would be. Is this someone who's made it through your perimeter defense, your rabid ducks and the pepper spray and everything? They've made it through that at this point. They've breached your security. So you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Why don't you come in for a warm meal? Let me clean up your duck wounds inside, and we can have a warm meal inside. Get in here. Hey, you at least deserve that, all right? Before you kill us, let us give you a meal. And by the way, do you like foxtail or whatever the spice was called? You like the taste of the rat poison? We'll toss some of that on there too. By the way, I know it's easy to make fun of these people, right? Like, for example, the pandemic lady. People will probably be like, what are you wearing? In that first shot of her and her whole family wearing the hazmat suits, people were like, probably like, fucking nice. What, you work at a hospital or something? You stupid, you're so goofy. You goofy ass family. What's wrong with you? But, now they're the ones laughing. And I don't want to ever be in that position, So I just want to say to the people that are in these episodes, let me stay with you if any of this shit happens, all right? I don't want to make pepper spray at home. So what can I offer your family? I don't know. I honestly, there's nothing. There's nothing that I could do in an apocalypse situation. There's nothing I could do. I don't even want to pretend like I have a skill that would help me in that area. So I really hope it doesn't end up where making fun of these people is gonna bite me in the balls. All right, this next prepper, his name is Michael. He lives out in the woods with his family, and he's always ready to defend his property, all right? In fact, he's constantly making sure his kids are also prepped and ready. Check this clip out.
Every bird produces a different sound, and each of their calls communicates a particular meaning. Today, Michael is teaching Emily about the importance of the robin's distress call.
Hold on, dude, what is this deer skin fit you're wearing? It kind of goes insanely hard. Fashion Instagrammers, take note of this guy. This is gonna be the next Yeezy fucking bad joke.
All right, this one's not out, but tell me what it is, because it's really important. Ready?
Robin's alarm?
Yeah, know that one.
I'm sorry. Did you just speak bird? Did you just speak bird to your daughter? That is incredible. That's nothing short of a miracle, maybe? I'm not sure what's more impressive, the fact that you can speak bird to your daughter, or the fact that you can speak to other birds. That's insane. How has the government not kidnapped you yet? I'm pretty sure the military wants to know how to do that. How is every scientist in America not running experiments on you right now? That's what I want to know. Are birds real? I'd like to know that too. No idea.
Most preppers stock up on firearms for self-defense, but Michael does not possess guns.
You don't need to rely on bright, shiny objects like knives and other, guns.
His lethal weapon of choice is made simply from an oak tree and a railroad spike.
Come on. A throwing axe? Come on. I don't think that holds a candle to a gun or any other weapon where you don't dispose of it in the first use. You realize you miss on the first throw and you're fucked. This is what that's gonna look like. Hey, stop right there, enemy! Whoa! Enemy's gonna go like this. Oh shit. And then he's just gonna take out his gun. And you're gonna be like, oh fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the throwing axe. Throwing axes are good for when you're at an axe throwing bar, drinking. That's the only case that these are good.
Nice. Other side. Excellent. Take it and chop it right to the base of the head. Boom.
Dakota has practiced throwing tomahawks for over 7 years, and he also has martial arts training.
You're holding the blades, and now you have your blocks, your strikes, your long distance.
I mean, there's no denying that this is sick as hell. Martial arts skills and tomahawk skills. This kid's definitely getting laid. Let's be very clear about that. But I don't think that he's surviving an apocalypse with these tools, unfortunately. I think you probably want a gun.
Like a true prepper, Michael always has a plan B.
This is as powerful as a shotgun. Really try to take out one of these targets.
A throwing stick.
I'm sorry, what? A throwing stick is as powerful as a shotgun? First of all, no, it's not. Second of all, isn't every stick a throwing stick? Are there types of sticks? Can't a walking stick become a hitting stick if you need it to be? Are you not allowed to do that? Is there some kind of stick rules that I'm not aware of? Also, again, as powerful as a shotgun? Maybe a throwing shotgun, but not a shooting shotgun. So please watch this. This is the best clip of the whole thing right here.
But for Michael, offensive training is not enough. He wants his kids to be ready for danger at any moment, whether they have a weapon or not. So he conducts self-defense drills every day, multiple times a day, and often without warning.
My kids are in there playing right now, so what I want to do...
Like idiots. My kids are in there playing. Like sheep. Wake the fuck up, kids. Why aren't you always on defense? The world could end at any moment. Idiot children.
is give them kind of an awareness drill. This is how they start to evolve their skill sets. So, with that in mind, let's go have some fun.
This fucking screen. This screen right here. Are you going to shoot your children, man? What are you doing? My kids are in there drawing like absolute numbskulls. Let's go shoot them in the face.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air now. What do you do? Both hands. Both hands.
I'm sorry, man. Look, I'll give it to you that it's a little bit impressive and a little bit sad as well that your daughter didn't just start crying when you shoved the gun into her back. But come on, that performance. I mean, she's still a little girl. Like, I could have kicked her through the wall right there. She's like 20 pounds. Are you kidding me? She flipped. Her reaction time was like 10 full seconds. She turned around and grabbed the. It's like, just fucking throw her against the wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying throw kids against the wall. I'm saying in that scenario, she doesn't stand a fucking chance. Come on, just right to the chest. Easy.
I get moments where people think that I'm crazy or too far gone all of the time. Is it all worth it? Yeah, wouldn't trade it for the world.
Something tells me that your kids probably just want to draw chalk on the wall, have a normal childhood. But I get it. If the world goes to shit, they're going to be laughing and I'm going to be head in the dirt, So, I'll give you that. Listen, again, I know it's a risky thing to make fun of people that prep for doomsday like this because, if it does happen, which the pandemic happened, they're not making a seat for me at the table, you know? They're not letting me into their compounds, you know, unless it's to give me that fucking poison because of these videos, you know? So maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here. I just gotta knock on wood and pray to God that the zombie thing doesn't actually happen, you know? So let's hope. Here's to not the world not ending. All right? Please like this video if you don't want the world to end as well. We can all do our parts here. All right. Actually, you know what? I do have a weapon right here. A trusty throwing lemon. Okay. Gonna clean that up. Bye.
Okay, let's see. Is the microphone on? Clap, clap. The microphone is on. So we are currently on YouTube,
Clean that up. Bye.
Twitter. Oh, I always forget about that. Oh, there we go. YouTube, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Clapper. And West Virginia Pappy holding down the Clapper. Whoever else is in there. See, TikTokers. Dude, 136 again here. All the bots have dropped out. All the lurkers are in. Say hi. YouTube family. Let's see who we got here. Janice first. Janice is on a roll. Nice. Catitude. Lanny's in here. Good to see you. Dog and Ball. Connie Mensch. Where are we at? Debbie's here. Hicktown Honey. Miss Melody. Star. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see here. Catitude, Miss Melody, Lanny, K. West Virginia Pappy is omnipresent. Let's see here. And Doomsday Homesteader. What's going down, man? Audible Ember. We got all these people just popping in here. And I have retired the great red local prepper cup that I've had for a year and replaced it with this thing. It's so long, it sticks up in front of my screen, so it's kind of a pain in the buttocks. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and look at some of these good mornings on the old TikTok. And yes, obviously, we had our first troll less than 1 minute into TikTok. Some moron, I apologize, some dipstick asking for $1 so he can buy a Gatorade. All right, Terry, Addison, yee. Where are we at here? Julie, good morning. Super Granny, I like that. That's cool. Get your ass on my YouTube page. That thing up there, go ahead and push it. Let's see here. Can someone make my truck payment for me? Get in line, first place shopper. What's up, Chad? Good morning. Hello, what's the latest item one needs for prepping? The latest item? There's no latest item, dude. It's water, food, and security. That's it. Everything else is cherry on the top. Anna, good morning. Let's see here. Hello, fellow lurkers. Tafil, good morning. I don't know you, user blah, 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 so you get no attention. Let's see here. Charles, good morning. Nezzy, good morning. Jordan, good morning from North Kakalaka. Hello from Missouri, Alan. David, good morning. Hello from Western New York. I survived. Lady, you better have all your preps in line. You're about to get slapped harder than you've been slapped in a long time. And I lived in Buffalo for almost a year, so even I know what lake effect snow is. But the stuff that's coming down the pipe is gonna be no joke. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. Let's see here. What ends in 11 days? This thing right here. This TikTok live stream? No more. December 30th is my last one. Let's see here. It's cold here today. It's cold here today, Jordan. I'm very surprised at how chilly it is right now. Or not. Or not what? Or not. You say something more intelligent, or maybe do a string on. Do something grammatically correct. Thank God I'm in Florida. Yeah, I know, Jen, man. It's the heat down there sucks during the summer, but it's nice during the winter. I live there too. Will you be my mammy? No, I will not. I will not be your mammy. Will you have a different look on your screen right now? Yes, you will. Let's see. I just got 82 inches a couple of weeks ago. Still here to tell the tale. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I lived up there near Hamburg. And, yeah, I remember we got like 72 inches inside of 24 hours. And it was fun tossing the kids out the window with a shovel so that they could shovel us out. Kansas is fixing to be cold. Yes, Kansas is. Kansas is. What happens on 11 days? Space buckets. Hey, are we playing the drinking game, YouTube guys? Are we playing the drinking game? In 11 days, this will be my last live stream on TikTok. Only on YouTube. Will it continue? -2 here in Montana. Good morning. I hope you're good, Roddy Mama. You're good. I live in Ohio, and we're supposed to get hit hard with snow. Yes, you are, Anna. Yes, you are. Why are you stopping? YouTube or something? I will... There's a myriad of reasons. That will be a show for December 30th. But I will only reveal the main reason on December 30th. Why are you quitting TikTok? I just answered that. Nobody special. Also, I'm not quitting TikTok. I'm just not going to live stream on TikTok anymore. Let's see here. Good morning, Mohawk. What's up? What's going on, man? Mukwa. That's right, Mukwa. It means like bear or something like that. You told me. I remember. You told me. All right, let's go in here. Lanny, me too. What's up, man? Good morning. Has anyone heard how Pineapple is doing? No, I have not heard from Pineapple since last Friday, and things seem to be okay. Let's see here. Tracy, Anna, Tanker, good morning. Tim, good morning. Niagara Falls here. Yep, been there. It's cold. Miss Melody says, would you be my mammy? What the hell? Let's see here. Gotta work. No drinking game here. I gotcha. JDM, good morning. JB, there you go. Good morning, Broseph. I'm near Windsor. Okay, cool. Good memory. I try. I haven't. I'm still doing my fasting, so I don't eat until noon. And I really want to take these because they work. No, I'm not an affiliate. No, I'm not selling them. But the Alpha Brain, that stuff works. How many days we got now? What's it say in the title, Lisa? What's it say in the title? Anyone else? Anyone else can't see him? What is it you can't see? Why can't you see me? That's a question. It's the question of the day. Why can't you see me? Let's see here. YouTube. All lights are green. 30 frames per second. 4465 kilobytes a second. We're CPU's at 11%. We're good, man. We are good. You mentioned my hometown. Bray Miller's lanes did not make it through the last storm. Your hometown is Hamburg or Buffalo? Viking Queen, good morning. I see him on my screen just fine. Gotcha, Tim. April, good morning. Hey, I listened. I prepped. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I liked Hamburg. It was okay. Super, super small town. But yeah, I was the Marine recruiter there on Main Street. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Today I've got another video lined up for you guys that you may or may not enjoy. It's definitely, I don't like to start Mondays with doom and gloom stuff, so we'll kind of hold that off until later on in the program. What about food shortages? Okay, Toby, please, Toby. I love you, man. I just met you, but I love you. Let's work on your TikTok prison number okay? Let's get past that, okay? Maybe shrink it down to something that I can actually use to remember who you are as a person until I leave TikTok. But yes, let's see here. Trevor showed up. Good morning, Trevor. Hello from Manchester, UK. I love you, Rick. Richard O'King 101. Hey, Richard, were you one of the guys that followed me off of the camping guy? I can't remember the name of his webpage or his stream. Why are chicken wings expensive? Because all chickens are expensive. We're running out of chickens. You didn't know that? That's the truth, Roberto Kiko. Hello from Louisiana. The Truth 2020. One love. Good morning. Off to work. Catitude. Have fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick into this. Let's see here. Boo, 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 boo. You're gonna love this. Oh, and we're not gonna talk about TikTok. We're not gonna talk about Twitter today. I mean, that is. Have you seen the price of eggs? Yes, they are about anywhere from 40 to 75% more expensive now. What ends in 11 days? I haven't been watching recently. Volatile sloth. I'm leaving TikTok live stream. I will no longer live stream on TikTok, only on YouTube. If you want to follow, go up there, push that thing, and go to my YouTube channel. And chicken farm here got destroyed in a storm last week here in Missouri. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, Troubletonia. Troubletonia. It's like, that's almost like a name of a town or something, right? I'm just going to steal Frosty's chickens so I won't have a shortage. Don't tell him that. Let's see here. Making chicken fajitas for lunch. Just stretch your meat with rice, beans, and veggies. Absolutely true. The girlfriend actually told me we need to start eating more rice and beans. I was like, game on. What do we got here? So let me go ahead and switch screens. I'm going to push a button and hopefully it works. I did do an update on my, maintenance on my computer yesterday. And I think I got all the settings where they're supposed to be, but there may be some glitches. It didn't work. Okay, looks like we are operational. The mic is on. Perfect. Let's see. Corporate coalition pushes government to create digital ID infrastructure. Isn't that special? A group of private companies have published a digital ID blueprint encouraging state governments to implement policies involved in creating a digital ID system. The blueprint was published by the Better Identity Coalition, a group of 27 U.S. companies, including MasterCard, Equifax, AT&T, and more. The group either wants to stop the worry about ID fraud or to profit from preventing ID fraud by pushing to normalize digital IDs. You know, when big business gets on board, they're just looking to make money, and you're the one who's going to pay. Gee, I wonder if they force us all into digital IDs. I wonder, someone's going to have to pay for that service, you know? Yeah. It's almost like indentured servitude. It's kind of interesting how when business gets involved with something the government is working on, you know, I worked in the government sector for a long time. I worked as a private contractor for a long time, and the companies that work with and for the government, that are contracted under the government, they're always looking for a way to make some money, and they just want to keep the government happy. So what they do is they say, well, we can fix this. We can do this, or we can fix this problem, or here's this great idea we came up all by ourselves, which means they already freaking own it. There's already an infrastructure. It's just a matter of people buying in. It's kind of sick. Angela Harkins. Hello, Angela. There's 5 people on the clapper. 5 people have the clap. I've got the clap too. It's nothing but fun. It's a new app. There's a future for it. There's a future for it. Make sure you all check in. If you say hello, I say hello back. Oh, this guy. Hi. David the Condone. It should be like David the Kidney Stone. Happy holidays, Broseph. Good to see you, man. Where are you from, David? Talk to me here. Let's see. Richard Don King says, you guys see this coming, but here people are finally starting to see it start to merge now. I gotcha. Yeah. I think that's because, hey, you acknowledged me. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? David, I do. You're clearly new to what I do. I acknowledge everybody I can possibly acknowledge. It's kind of like the human thing to do. It's like we're having a conversation, but there's screens in between us. Let's see. Adventures with Scots. With the Scots. Gotcha. Let's see. Yes, over in the UK, unfortunately, you're like our socialist friends. You don't know it, or maybe you do, but you're just like Australia, man. Australia's even worse, but it's like it's a socialist country that is trying to make it work, and then the people are trying to do it, and then they're not, and then they are, and then there's riots in the streets, and you know. You guys should have never socialized your medical care. Should have never done it. All it did is open the door to that crap. Now, I know it works there. I know a lot of people that say that it does work there. But I also hear nightmares about socialized medicine in Canada. I also hear nightmares about socialized medicine in France. And it just opens the door to socialism. So, hello, user, prison name, prison number 921706171337. Hi. Wish I knew your name so I could, like, have a conversation with you. Let's see here. What do we got over on the YouTube? Stretch as much as you can. Had anyone else noticed the Our Local weekly test things that got across the top of screens are multiplying times daily? Debbie, I don't. Had anyone else noticed the Our Local weekly test things that got across top of TV screens are multiplying daily? No, I hadn't noticed that. I don't really watch a lot of local TV, to be honest with you. It's just as bad as the big box guys. Should we head for the hills pending war? In your particular case, I would say yes if you're in the UK. Too many heads in the UK buried in the sand. Absolutely true. Let's see here. Love, jealous, powerful, fame, wealth, tools, and torture toys is all I wanted. I want to be clingy with God, Jesus, and thou. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, wait, what's your name? Love, joyous, hater. That's nice. And now your screen is different because, well, you know why. Let's see here. Do you think war is pending? It's a possibility, David. It is a possibility. And the reason I say that is because if you haven't noticed, there's a war going on in Europe. And I don't say that to be facetious. I say that because people still have this mindset that it's not a war, that it's just Russia attacking that other country that I can't say the name of on YouTube. That's what they think. That's what they're still thinking because that's what the media wants you to think. That's what the media is pumping down your throat. Every so often you hear about this. Oh, this power plant mysteriously exploded and it's on the other side of Russia. And oh, this airfield just blew up. And it's in the middle of Russia. It couldn't possibly be those guys that they're actually at war with. Yeah, they're at war. So it is a possibility. I think that I think that it would be there's nothing like getting your ass handed to you when you piss off the big dogs. When you say, well, okay, let's just start a war with NATO. Let's just start a war with U.S. You know? Because then it's like everybody's knocking on the door. It's time to go, man. All right, let's go. They're just knocking on doors. Time to go. And the coalition is... See, that's the thing with NATO. The coalition is already lined up. They're already there. They're already waiting. They're already like, all right, just green light us, man. Let's do this. You know? So... there is a possibility, but I also think that it's not about mutually assisted destruction. It's all about Russia would just get their asses handed to them. Seeing what had happened during their invasion and the losses that they're taking now. Well, the UPS people's here. I might have to walk away because I think I have a few things coming. It's UPS time. Everybody take a 2-minute break. Got to put some shoes on. See what the old UPS God sent me. You know what? I'm just going to play a video for you guys. Hold on.
The last economic reset occurred in 1944 with the creation of the Bretton Woods system. The US dollar replaced the pound sterling as the new world reserve currency and was convertible to gold at a fixed rate of $35 an ounce. Nations of the world entrusted the Federal Reserve Bank to hold their gold in return for market liquidity. This trust was good up until President de Gaulle of France pointed out that the United States was printing more money than they had in gold reserves to pay for the war in Vietnam, and in 1971 sent a warship to New York demanding their gold back. Days later, President Nixon took the world off the gold standard altogether, allowing the war machine to print endless amounts of US dollars. In 1974, the United States offers use of its war machine to Saudi Arabia in return for their oil to be sold exclusively with US dollars. This becomes known as the petrodollar and ushers in a new era of endless warfare. Andy Schechtman of Miles Franklin has been trading precious metals for over 30 years and lays out the evidence that the world is going back to a gold standard. In 2017, Germany's Bundesbank made headlines when they demanded the return of their physical gold by 2020. Within weeks, the Bank of Austria, the Bank of Hungary, the Bank of Turkey, the Czech National Bank, and the Bank of Poland all quietly began repatriating their gold as well and began buying more. These banks bought more in 2018 than they had bought in the last 60 years combined, and they doubled that the next year. In 2019, the Bank for International Settlements classifies gold as a Tier 1 reserve, rivaling the US dollar for the first time in 80 years. In 2020, the International Monetary Fund publicly announces a shift towards a new system to replace Bretton Woods. Also that year, a new major buyer suddenly appears, anonymously labeled as Other, and begins draining the COMEX and London Metals Exchange of precious metals to an extent never seen before. In August of 2021, Saudi Arabia signs a military cooperation agreement with Russia, directly challenging the US petrodollar agreement. This is immediately followed by the US military's abrupt departure from Afghanistan. In 2022, Russian banks were removed from the SWIFT system. This weaponization of the banking system inspired a massive sell-off of US treasuries, as Russia and China announce a new commodity-backed world reserve currency. Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and Iran begin selling oil to China for bonds that are immediately convertible to gold. BRICS membership is now nearing 90% of the world population, and all these countries are dramatically expanding their gold reserves. China's Belt and Road Initiative is moving towards connecting nearly 3/4 of the world population into its centralized system with the digital Chinese yuan. And the US government is left holding a bill they can't pay and a war machine they can't afford. The US Mint is making it difficult for citizens to buy gold and silver, as if they want everyone at their mercy when it all goes to zero. Their only solution seems to be total control.
The Federal Reserve increased interest rates. Of course, they had been promising to increase interest rates, and they delivered on that promise. As much as the Fed claims it doesn't care what the markets do, it cares very much about what the markets do, and so it tries to craft what it does with the markets in mind. We have so much more debt now than we had in the past. It's a whole different world. Just because the economy could survive 5% interest rates when we had a relatively small amount of debt to service doesn't mean the economy can also survive 5% interest rates when we have a mountain of debt to service, both in the private and public sectors. But nonetheless, is the biggest interest rate hike in 28 years. So it's very rare that the Fed moves by 75 basis points. So after all these rate hikes, in a world where you have 8.6% inflation, interest rates are still highly inflationary. And so the Fed remains behind the curve despite this rate hike. Inflation is going to get worse. It's not going to get better, although Powell is prepared to pretend that it will. But I think both consumers and investors are wrong with these expectations. What was neutral in the past when inflation was under 2% is not neutral in the present when it's over 8%, because neutrality is supposed to be an interest rate that is neither stimulative to the economy nor sedative to the economy. It's supposed to have no effect. Well, clearly, an interest rate in a 2% inflation environment is going to have a very different effect if you have the same interest rate in an 8% inflation environment. And so clearly, if 2% was neutral in the past, at a minimum, 8% would be neutral now, and we're not going to get anywhere near 8%, and so the Fed is not going to get anywhere near neutral. And if it's not even going to get neutral, let alone restrictive, what hope does it have of actually solving the inflation problem and returning the annual rate back down to 2%? if the Fed really was determined to make sure it eradicated inflation for good, it wouldn't be talking about any victory claims simply because inflation was headed down. They want to make sure that it is down and that it stays down. So what Powell should have said is, we will not back off until not only inflation has returned to 2%, but that it stayed at 2% long enough so that we're convinced that it's going to stay down there and not go right back up. Because what happens if inflation's 8.5% and then it goes down to 5 or 4% and the Fed is, okay, great, it's going to go to 2, and it never hits 2. And the next thing you know, it goes up to 10. The Fed can't take any chances. But I think the Fed is already setting the markets up for a premature victory claim, because I think the Fed knows it can't actually beat inflation, but it's hoping that maybe it can fool the markets into thinking that it beat it, and it can pretend that it beat it by declaring victory, even though a victory hadn't been won. You just got this inflation. It's not like it's been here for a long time, and so easy come, easy go. It just came around, and now we're going to get rid of it, and the public doesn't expect it to continue because it's so new, and all of that is simply not true. And again, we have had inflation for a long time. It's just that the public wasn't complaining about it for a long time because it wasn't this extreme, but we still had it. And of course, when inflation was predominantly in financial assets, nobody complained. And of course, in the early days of this inflation, if you go back to 2008, 9, 10, the Fed created a lot of inflation, but what that did was prevent prices from falling, not really pushing prices up. If it wasn't for QE1 and QE2, the Great Recession would have been much greater, and we actually would have seen a healthy decline in the cost of living and consumer prices. Why didn't that happen? Well, because the Federal Reserve printed all this money. So yes, there's an inflation problem in Europe. Yes, there's an inflation problem in Japan. There's inflation problems all around the world because central banks all around the world made the same mistakes as the Federal Reserve. In fact, the Federal Reserve may have been the leader, and all the other central banks were following in their misguided footsteps. There's signs everywhere that consumers are tightening their belts. First of all, look at all the stuff that is collapsing, starting with all the macroeconomic data that is abysmal. And I'm going to get into some of that in a little bit. And consumer confidence, which has collapsed to an all-time record low, savings that have collapsed to near record lows, GDP forecasts that keep ratcheting lower, and personal wealth that is evaporating. Look what's happened to the stock market. We are now in a bear market in the S&P. We had a collapse in cryptocurrencies. A lot of wealth has evaporated. And maybe the Fed doesn't remember, the goal of quantitative easing was to create economic growth through a wealth effect. The idea was if the Fed could make asset prices go up, well, people would be wealthier and they would spend more. Well, it must work in reverse. If asset prices are collapsing and people are less wealthy, doesn't it stand to reason that they're going to spend less? But not only are some aspects of personal finance collapsing, other aspects are surging, like the cost of food, the cost of energy, the cost of shelter. What about interest rates, which just got ratcheted up again? In fact, home mortgage rates now are at 6.25%. They continue to go up. Credit card debt is at an all-time record high as credit card interest is surging. So consumers have seen their wealth wiped out at the same time their cost of living is going up. How could you say there's no evidence that consumers are going to be impacted by any of that and that they're not going to adjust their spending in consideration for what has just happened to their wealth and their cost of living? But Powell claims, no, there is no signs anywhere. There's no indication that anything bad is happening to the consumer and the consumer is going to change his habits at all based on what's happened. So number one, that is a lie. I mean, why even tell that lie? Why not just admit the obvious, especially since, and here is the bigger problem, the very goal of raising interest rates to fight inflation is to influence consumer behavior. You're trying to stop consumers from spending. You're trying to encourage them to save. You're trying to diminish demand along with supply so that prices would come down. So the very reason that Powell is raising rates is to influence consumer behavior. Yet Powell is claiming that there's absolutely no signs that any of the rate hikes have done anything to influence consumer behavior, that they're behaving exactly the same now as they were before rates were increased, which is an admission that the entire policy is a failure. because he's not going to reduce inflation unless he reduces demand, and he's not going to do that unless he changes consumer behavior. And he claimed that he's doing no such thing. He said the economy is in great shape. He said there were no signs of a broader slowdown, which also means there's no signs that inflation is going to slow down either. Double-digit core year-over-year inflation in producer prices. That is a hot number. And again, all this shows is consumer prices have more room to increase because the producers are yet to pass on the full extent of their rising costs to their customers. Those price hikes are already baked into the cake, and pretty soon the customers are going to be eating it. In fact, it's going to be rubbed all over their faces, and this is more bad news for the Fed and the economy. But we got more bad news on the economy itself. And of course, nobody thinks a recession is anywhere in sight. I mean, maybe some people think that we might get a recession in 2023, but pretty much nobody believes that we're already in recession other than me. We've been in a recession since the beginning of Q1. And if we're already in a recession, imagine how much worse that recession is going to get as the Fed continues to raise interest rates, as rising prices continue to exact a toll on the consumer, who now has to deal with the reverse wealth effect of watching their stock portfolios and their crypto portfolios crash. Of course, everybody is so convinced that we can't possibly have a recession now because unemployment is so low. Setting aside the fact that unemployment is a lagging indicator and a lot of these jobs can disappear very quickly, the reason that unemployment is typically associated with a recession is because when people lose their jobs, they tend to cut back on their spending. And that's normally because their unemployment checks are not nearly as high as their paychecks. Now, that wasn't the case during COVID, and that was one of the problems. So many people received more in unemployment than they earned in salary. But setting that aside, unemployed people spend less, and that bleeds into the GDP, and that leads to recession. Well, what's happening right now? Even though people are still employed, they have to cut back on their spending because prices have risen so much. Effectively, inflation has given almost every American a huge pay cut because the actual cost of living is probably up 15 to 20%. Now, maybe your job, you got a raise and you're making 5 to 10% more, but you still have a huge pay cut. And there are a lot of people who aren't employed, they're retired, they're living on a fixed income, so they didn't get a raise at all, but they had a big increase in their cost of living. So everybody has a pay cut, so now everybody has to cut back on their spending. Think about it this way. Let's say that 10% of the people lose their jobs and don't spend anything. But what happens if 100% of the people get a 10% pay cut? That decline in spending is the same thing as 10% of the people spending nothing, 100% of the people spending 10% less. So because inflation is effectively giving every worker a huge pay cut, even though these workers still have jobs, they're going to spend a lot less in real terms than they used to, and that can cause a recession. Even though unemployment is still low, spending can contract and you're in a recession. But it's not just higher prices taking a big bite out of people's paychecks. It's the fact that many of those people have now seen a big reduction in the value of their retirement savings because of the big drop in the stock market or maybe cryptocurrencies. And so now these people feel that since they've had such a big drop in the value of their retirement accounts, they now have to start making larger contributions to those accounts to make up for what they lost.
Okay. Back in live mode on YouTube. Let's see here. Apparently Trevor, man. Oh shit. I'm sorry to hear about this. I mean, I'm sure you're giggling a little bit, but that's no bueno, dude. You might want to dust off that resume. Apparently Trevor posted, well, I get to see all the morning brief today. I got a day off now because our shop was on fire when I pulled into work. It's like, that's crazy, you know? Let's see here. Not sure how bad it is inside. They sent us all home. The powder coat oven was on fire. I guess it's huge. Jesus Christ, Trevor. Oh my God, that super sucks. Trevor, you're in the Discord, right, Trevor? Tell me now. I need to know. Trevor, tell me if you're in the Discord. If not, get your ass in there. I want to talk to you. Let's see. Can you give me your Discord? Yes, Penny, listen. If you go up to the link in my bio, and that'll take you to my link tree, and then if you scroll, I think it's all the way to the bottom, that's my Discord channel. You can click it right there, and that'll get you in there. We'll be looking for you, Penny. Let's see. We see it's crazy as heck. Trevor, you're in okay. Thank you. I'm looking for Trevor. I'll send you a message later, Trevor. Let's see here. Better yourself and nothing changes. Term limits. What do we got here? Draken 0311, laugh my ass off. I'm prepared. I have Walmart bags stored. Nothing can stop me. Draken says, I'm prepared. I have 2,376 Walmart bags stored. Nothing can stop me. That's hilarious. Okay, so let's see if we can get back on point here. And I'm going to push this button right here. There we go. Something's in the members chat. There he is. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, we're back. I think we're reset here. Apparently, the corporate coalition pushes government to create digital ID infrastructure. And as you can see, it's all the biggies. It's AT&T. We got CVS, Equifax. Of course, all the ID Me, Mass Mutual, MasterCard, Microsoft. This is like just a list of, like, if you didn't want to do business with people because you don't want everybody knowing who you are or controlling your life, this would be like the list. This is like the list of people that you want to stay the hell away from if you can. The Walmart bags might help insulate. Man, my throat is like, I feel like something in my throat. Weird. Let's see here. Everywhere is going to start cutting hours, I'm sure. Cabela is starting January 1st. We're cutting everyone's hours majorly. I believe it. You guys, I mean, I've got other things to talk about here, but let's talk about this for a second. It should be clear to everyone at this point that businesses are not making the money that they need to stay afloat. The only way, I mean, we went through this with the thing that we can't talk about is with the closing of businesses because people weren't spending money. All right, so what you have to understand, and it's another video that I had. It's a little bit more detailed. It's a little bit more deep thinking type stuff. On the TikTok side, thank you, or Clapper, thank you for all of those yays. I still don't know what they are, but that's okay. Let's see here. The U.S. economy is rapidly falling apart. The Fed is bankrupt, if you guys didn't know this. They're trying to do everything, and they're bankrupt because, and that's why they keep raising interest rates. It's not about them surviving or helping America or the individual. That's not what this is about. They're bankrupt. And somehow they're controlling what we do. Everything that they do is about controlling, and these are very simple generic terms. The end result of anything that the Fed does is about controlling buying habits of Americans. Okay? And so that's not changing. American buying habits, they raise rates so that Americans will spend less money, thus buying less things. But what they didn't calculate, it's not about buying boats or airplanes or new cars, because we've seen the car market. The car market is record repossessions, guys. Record repossessions. Because people can't afford to make their car payments. This is about controlling your spending, but they didn't factor in one little thing. If all the prices of everything goes up, but the amount of money that you make goes down or stays the same, or maybe goes up a tick. That's the way that's the way our fool in chief keeps making these analogies. Then you still have to buy the things that you need to buy to survive. You need to put warm clothes on your kids. You need to pay the power bill. You need to put food in your family's guts. You need to put gasoline in your car. Those are things that you need to do. And the prices of all those things have gone through the roof. So they think that by raising raising the rates, the Fed does, by raising the rates, that it will somehow curtail you from spending money, and that's not what's happening. Melody, hey, good morning. You're late, but that's okay, because I'm always here for you, girl. So this all equates to a situation that's coming down the pike that no one can put their finger on, and it's pretty much every prepper's nightmare, with the exception of the people who think that they're preparing for asteroids hitting the Earth or tidal waves that are 10 stories tall, things that you can't recover from. If you are still, and as you can tell, I'm choosing my words carefully because I don't want to come off as like the prophet that was always wrong. If you are still on the sidelines, wondering how this is all going to play out, you might want to get in the game. Today I'll be storing water. I finished with my old preps. I got some more rice. I got some more beans. And yes, I know that's the prepper. That's the cliche prepper. But you know what? When they're still selling it for a low price for a 20-pound bag, I'm gonna go buy it. If you're still on the sidelines, you better get in the game, and you better get in the game in a way that goes beyond the money you spent on Christmas gifts. You better get in the game in a way that, like when they say you need no less than 1 gallon of water per person per day, you better get in the game and start doing that math. Because if you don't, you're going to come up short. And coming up short in the game of survival only equals one thing. So I would probably take I don't want to be the Debbie Downer for Christmas. You can see the tree. If you're on YouTube, here you go. There you go. There you go, TikToks. The tree. It's on a timer. Haha, it's not very pretty. There you go, Clapper. There's the tree. There's gifts down there. You may wanna. Who's bought prepper gifts for their family members? Who's done that? Something to think about. Who's bought a solid pocket knife for the man in their life? Who's bought that? Or did you spend your money on something that's going to make them happy and have almost no real use of? Maybe you should be doing that. Hicktown Honey says, just play a little defense. It isn't hard. Yeah, that's 99% of what preparedness is. 99%. So, ammo and alcohol. Bags in Ziploc for 10. Gotcha. Yeah, it's wife gave me a great survival kit for Father's Day. To Phil, nice. And good to see you over there on Clapper, bro. Good to see you over there on Clapper. You know, I don't like going down that rabbit hole, guys, because it's like you got, it's like Dad used to never really scare the hell out of you. Dad would be like, well, you probably ought to be doing this. It's kind of important. And that's about it. There's too many people out there not paying attention. They're not keeping their eye on the prize. They're not worried about stuff. My big generator is someplace else right now, and I really wish it was here. I've got another little generator, and now I'm wondering if my little generator can run the space heater if it gets that bad. The weather does not project it to be that bad here on the eastern shore of Virginia. So, hey, Boy Scout, what's going on? Matchings and candles. What did I miss? 11 days until what? Yeah, that's right. You missed it. Me saying it over again for you would be kind of a waste of time. Hooks, lines, sinkers, oil lamps, and oil as wedding gifts. Nice, April. I love it. Let's see here. We don't do gifts, so I bought myself preps as a gift. Nice. I like that. Ham radio for my wife and I are under the tree. How'd you get that cool-ass name, Leatherneck? I'm so jealous. What do we got here? Bought my husband socks and a good knife. Nice. I like it. Gifted my mountain house preps. My buddies love them. That's cool. Always have a knife in my pocket. That's Beecher. Gotcha. Breacher! Are we talking we are taking a budget-friendly trip as a family. Memories are important this year. The trip is cheaper than we usually spend on gifts. Well, that's cool. There's people that don't even know there's a winter storm coming. Yes, I know. Absolutely, I know. David says I'll have to catch the replay. Well, it's not over yet, David. Still got another 10 minutes. What do we got here? Do you have access to a food pantry? The USDA canned meats are versatile. Yeah. These... I am VI and can't go to one. I don't know what VI is. What do we got here? Stay safe, everyone. Corruption is blackmailing. Corruption is still in control. Well, yeah, Billy. Corruption is always going to be around. It's always going to be. Ozark showed up. What's going on, Broseph? Good to see you on the old clapper. Ozark's got the clap, guys. Everybody's getting the clap. I'm dehydrating everything I don't move. There you go. Let's see what VI means. Yeah. It's just like goes downhill real quick when you start talking about the bad stuff. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to work on water today. Gotta make sure the generators are running good today. Got to do something with the walnuts that are still stored. Got to check the old P.O. box. I got to get my winter jacket and gloves out. I still have not done that. And I've got to find some damn real light bulbs. Some light bulbs that create heat is what I need to do. I've got to put them inside the chicken coop because if it's going to get that cold, then they're going to need some of that. I have 12 cases of 40 bottles of water from Walmart so far. I mean, it's... I had a real-world power down test this weekend. Recently installed a generator. Excuse me. Inlet receptacle for the house. I was able to power everything. Most importantly, the water pump. Yes. Water pump, heat, and freezers. I like it. Hey, what's the rating on your generator? How many watts? How many watts is that generator kicking out, Leatherneck? You need a bunny. Coot, I hear you need a bunny one side. I don't know what that means, Miss Melody. Or Melody Neary. I don't know what that means. Dollar store. They're all LEDs. They're all LEDs. What do we got here? Harbor Rate has 500 watt halogens. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to go all the way down there. That's like a 45-minute drive for me. I need to get one. Yeah, but the LED light bulbs have taken over everything. So just finding light bulbs to keep my my pump house warm during the winter is a challenge. I'm trying to stock up for any situation since it's me, my wife, and 1-year-old daughter. Yeah, berserkers. Yeah, you got to do it, man. I made a 12-foot long medieval ballista for ADA. Let's see. Have food will travel. Hey, how are you? We're good. We're good. I have a passion for teaching and helping people plan. I don't have funds to help. But, so what ends in 11 days? What are we counting down this time? Oh, this time. This time, huh? That's a pretty bold question. Maybe you should have been here. Maybe you should have been here with the rest of the regulars a little more early on instead of popping in and going, "Oh, I think I'll just ask questions." No, you can ask questions, bro. But yeah, if you don't know, you'll just have to wait until Wednesday to find out. Let's see. Don't farm stores like TSC have heat lamps? Yes, I don't really like using heat lamps. They draw a lot of power. I just like standard 60-watt light bulbs. Just they used to be like $5, but now they're like 11 or 12 bucks for the standard clamp work lamps. Put 2 or 3 of those suckers in there, just some regular 60-watt light bulbs. That chicken coop stays warm as hell. Oh God, no! I don't take any more handouts than I have to. I don't know what that is. I wish I would have gotten here earlier myself, but putting baby down for a nap. I mean, it happens. It happens. Hey, I just found you from South Alabama. Glad to see you on here. I appreciate it, Queen Bee. I'm prepped either way. I know. We all have. What happens in 11 days? Let's see here. LP 4 years USMC during the 90s. Definitely deserve the name. Thanks for your service. Yeah, Devil Dog. I'm yeah. Who were you with? MOS and Unit now. I'm not joking. If the box is right, the Lily Hyundai heater I have at 4 to 5 days low with. Nice. Just be careful with those propane. Those propane burners eat oxygen, and they actually create moisture. In case that's accurate, I got that. I'm gonna have more. I don't consider it a handout. I think hand up, little buddy. Let's see here. We only bought gifts for the children this year, and we asked for nothing. Of course, our parents wanted to give us gifts, so we had prep items in our Amazon wish list. There you go. There you go. I like that. That's a great idea. Putting prep items in your Amazon wish list. That way you get what you want, you get what you need. They get happy because they gave you something. All right, let's see here. No Devil Dog, but 12 Bravo, 19th Mac. There you go. Good to hear, bro. Good. I'm going to look that up. 12 Bravo. 12 Bravo. What's that? 59th Mac. I'm going to look that up. Let's see. Why don't you just put a sign up next to your head on the screen about what happens in 11 days? Doomsday Homesteader. Because, nah, I got enough shit back there, man. What do we got here? Let's see. And welcome. You finally showed up, or you just been lurking back there. And there's Haley liking that. All right. Let's see here. I don't think I've got really anything else for you guys today. I did run across this article called Last Minute Preps. The general idea, let me go ahead and change my screen real quick for the YouTubers. The general idea is like, hey, listen, you know stuff's about to go down. This could be a weather-related event. It could be the end of the world. It could be anything. Doesn't matter, you know. But some of the things that you do. So first is communicate. Let people know what's going on. Make sure people are going to be like, hey, you know there's a storm coming, right? Okay, in that particular situation. Next thing, go to the bank. Go ahead and get yourself a little bit of cash. You never know what's going to happen when things go down. If all the power goes out, well, ATM machines don't work, and neither does the Walmart checkouts. That self-checkout that somehow you're now doing the job. Those things don't work. What do we got here? Hit the gas station. Make sure you top it off. If you know the storm's coming, top off your gas tank. It's just smart. Where are we at? Make sure that you've got your water. Fill up on water. Do it, guys. Make sure you got plenty of water. What do we got? And then what we got here? Grab some last-minute groceries, because it's always nice to have some of the things that you may not be able to go out. It's nice to have a little bit of creature comforts, you know. Maybe some fresh vegetables, maybe some fresh fruit, maybe some ice cream, you know, things like that. What we got here? Check your wood pile, which basically means make sure that you got some way to heat and cook. If you got if you do have a wood burning stove and you have a bunch of uncut wood, maybe cut a cord, you know, in the evening after you get home from work, you know, that kind of thing. Make sure that your wood, you don't want to be out there trying to chop stuff up in a blizzard, that kind of stuff, you know. Where we got hook up and test the generator. Just like, what was it? Who was that? Not Doug Frost. Leatherneck. I think it was Leatherneck said that they got that all set up. Who was that? Yep, Leatherneck's got that all set up. Let's see. And finalize your defensive. You know, yesterday we were talking in the chat. You know, in the Discord, on the Patreon side. And by the way, we've got a brand new Patreon. If you're in the YouTube, just hanging out because you haven't returned my messages yet, appreciate you, man. Well, let me know so we can confirm who you are, and I will get you into the members only private Discord chat. That's the inner circle. If you're not a Patreon, well, it is what it is. Okay, and let's see. Trevor is asking, what day and time is the Discord call? I miss it every week. Yes, Trevor, it's Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, by hook or by crook. And looking at the calendar, I'm going to close that. Looking at the calendar, yeah, we're good. That's it's Christmas Eve. It's the eve of Christmas Eve is the Discord call. You're an 0351. Oh my God, Leather. Recruiter said it was IT and software development job. Got out and have been software dev and architect work. I got you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hopefully you actually. No. 52 is toes. You're 51. You're dragon guy. You were a dragon guy. You were dragons and smalls, blowing shit up. Let's see. How do we get on the Discord? Bearded Mason. Go up to the link in my bio, click that, bloop, bloop. It's going to take you to my page, my profile. And there's one link in my profile. You click on that. That's my link tree. And then you scroll all the way to the bottom of that link tree, and that's where it should say Local Preppers Discord. Drop in there, and let's see if anybody's popped in. So we got we got some new people. Where are we at here? Who popped in here? Makes Sense is new. Boom, Makes Sense. There you go. And you know, we're gonna give you a thumbs up. All right. Well, who else? We got any other new people? Yeah, see, everybody's saying hi to Make Sense. Don't know who Make Sense is, but hey, it's really that easy. Let's see here. Best economical storage. No, I don't know you. User prison number 3278AD. Best economical storage for well water. Okay, so there's and this will be, I'm actually over my 11 o'clock because I do have a shit. Look, guys, I got a shit ton of stuff to do. That's my list. So there's a couple of variables. All right, so well water. I literally just put it into the blue 6-gallon storage containers. I think they're like Aqua Blue is the name of them. I mean, you could store it either way. It doesn't matter. The thing is you'll end up with this green stuff from all of the minerals that are in the well water. So you're going to have that. But what I also do is I filter the water. Now, do you filter it before or do you filter it after? I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe you... My brain is telling me you should probably filter it before you doing it, but all I do is I just treat it with chlorine. I just get the regular Clorox, the unscented stuff, just plain chlorine bleach. It's 8 drops of unscented chlorine bleach per 1 gallon. I'm deep in the abyss. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that's what I do. And then as far as the water jugs themselves, never buy the gray ones. The gray ones have a bad seam seal on them and they will leak. Always buy the blue ones. You can buy them at Walmart. You can also buy them online. I've got an Amazon store if you're curious about that. Go to the link in my bio. Go to my store and you'll see what I'm talking about. They're still cheap. You can get them for under $20. I bought one yesterday at Walmart. And they do seem to keep them in stock. It's like when they disappear a couple days later, there's more there. But never buy the gray ones. And that's how I store my water because I'm on a well. You can also buy those clear blue ones from Walmart. I think they're 3 gallons and they're stackable. They're kind of like, they're the kind that you put it into like a water drinking machine. You have to flip them upside down. But they have a hole in the bottom of an orifice where you can stack one on top of the other. I don't recommend you going higher than 2. But you can do those. The only difference is you got to keep those guys out of sunlight because if they get a chance, they'll make some algae in there. So, all right, guys, it's 11:05. I got stuff to do on the YouTube side. Let me check the chat on the YouTube side very quickly. What about bottom water? Trevor, no problem, bro. Bottom water. I don't know what bottom water is, and I don't know what bottom water is. Either way, my plan is just to filter all water that I have to get. There's a stream down the road from me that I can go fill up with buckets, drag them back here, and filter the water like it's cool. I've got one of the water machines. If you're interested, the link is in my bio. But I love the damn thing. I love the thing. And what I found out too, I'm gonna make my own personal stand for it. But the stand that I have is kind of high, and what I can do is I can take just a 5-gallon bucket and push it right up against it, and now I have a platform to put things on and fill up things and so on and so forth. And oh, by the way, that 5-gallon bucket is full of water. I am wearing an M65 liner, Bearded Mason. These are the whoopee. These are the wearable whoopies. This is an original. This thing is awesome sauce all the way around. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and check off on the YouTube side. On the YouTube people, you guys know how to find me. We'll see you on the inside. That's the Discord TikTok people. Yeah, until the next time, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Be a Patreon. Don't be a schmuff. Thanks for watching, and I hope you decide to support the page. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the link below. If it didn't take you directly to it, you can just hit the support page. That's what it should look like. All you have to do is either hit the Patreon symbol or the join button. Doesn't matter. Just hit it and that'll get you started. It's $3 a month for 30-ish days of work from me. The price of a Starbucks coffee. So until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.